So before I already covered the Doublestrike, which I favored for having hammer action capabilities, and I also covered the Quadrot, which I favored for basically being a 4-shot holdout. However, I haven't had any blasters in my arsenal that could combine the best of both worlds. That is, until now. Hey guys, Sir Mike A here. This is a video review on the Nerf Doomlands Persuader. Let's get right into it. External overview of the blaster. Starting up at the front, there's no on-strike barrel lug, but there are 4 exposed barrels for you to front load your blaster. So you just load in 4 darts, prime it, as it is a Springer. I've never heard of a hammer action flywheel blaster, and you pull the trigger. Now, above that, we have a front iron sight, but much like many other blasters I reviewed, there's no rear iron sight, so sights are completely useless, like usual. Behind that, we have a tack rail. However, there is nothing behind or in front of the attachment tooth to like stop you from advancing the attachment too far, so I can just push it like all the way, and nothing will stop me from pushing it past the tooth, past the point where the teeth interlock. So it doesn't like cause any damage to the attachments or the blaster, but it can get a little annoying if you're trying to tactically attach and remove attachments. Now, down to the trigger. This is a pretty standard trigger. This blaster does not have slam fire. However, you can fan the blaster, which is sort of like slam fire, but that is very ill-advised because it will drastically reduce both your performance and your accuracy. Now, to the priming handle, which is actually behind the trigger. That's because this is a hammer action, not exactly a bullpup, but not exactly conventional. So, to prime, you just pull back the hammer like I just showed you, and then you pull the trigger. And of course, you can always just fan the blaster, which will permanently disable the catch. However, yeah, of course, it's not advised. Below the trigger, we have a sling mount. This is kind of a hard blaster to holster, but if you've got a sufficiently large pocket, it will fit in there. However, if you really don't have that many big pockets and you can't find a decent holster for this, then of course your next option is to use a sling or a carabiner. Now to the grip. This is a pretty comfortable grip. It's a little odd in relation to the trigger, but you know, it works for me. And it's not the worst grip Nerf has ever made, in my opinion. They have made worse grips. The Doublestrike. Yeah, I hated that blaster's grip. And to see this one be an improvement from that, I definitely like that. That is an external overview of the Persuader. Let's see it fire. Starting with normal firing. Oops. One more time, ignore what just happened a few seconds ago. Now fanning, which is sort of like slam fire. Gonna try it with one hand now, because 2 hands is kind of cheating. I'm just gonna say it right now, I absolutely hate the fanning technique, but I'm gonna do it just one more time for the sake of this video. My thumb is so sore from that. That is my firing demo for the Nerf Doomlands Persuader. As you can see, it performs pretty well, and hammer action is always a pleasure to use in competitive Nerf. I do want to point out that something I almost forgot was that a bunch of people complained about the hammer being too heavy for them. But you know, I haven't really had that issue. Either that or I've just really adjusted to it. But yeah, it works pretty well for me, even though the heaviness of the hammer may be a deal breaker for you. And on top of that, it really combines the best of the Doublestrike and the Quadrot really well. And as far as I know, the Doomlands Persuader doesn't really have that many downsides aside from being difficult to holster, which, as long as you're willing to give up a pocket, or if you've got a decently sized one, you could holster it pretty well in there. In fact, I've actually holstered this in a jean pocket, and unless I was only doing it halfway, it never fell out. So, yeah, pockets can make for some pretty decent holsters for this. Surprisingly decent, actually. But, yeah, that is my conclusion. Now to my personal opinion, overall, I love this blaster. It really combines what I liked about the Quadrot and the Doublestrike, while also eliminating some of the cons of them, too. For example, the Doublestrike's terrible grip. Yeah, I still cannot get over that, but the Persuader grip, definitely an improvement to that. Overall, I would definitely recommend people buy this one. They're around $15 if you get them new from a store like Walmart or something. And I got this one out of eBay. This one is still in pretty decent condition. It still works really well. And I definitely see myself using it in future Nerf wars. But yeah, that is my review for the Nerf Doomlands Persuader. Thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye.